Hello everyone, my name is Troy Hogue. I'm the Director of Henderson State University's Department of Aviation, and I'd like to welcome you to our Heart Start information sessions. This is the first of 3 sessions that's going to guide you through the process of, first off, and especially in session 1 that we're about to conduct, what is an aviation major, what does that look like, what is it for, and then in sessions 2 and 3 we'll talk a little bit more of the details of how you pursue an aviation degree, what's involved in renting an aircraft and things of that nature, and how do you sign up to specifically be an aviation major. So we'll cover that in sessions 2 and 3, but we'll keep session 1 fairly short here, just to make sure that if you're interested in aviation, that it is what you're looking to do as you pursue your major. Well, Henderson offers 2 degree tracks within aviation. The first one is the professional pilot track, and the second one is the aviation management track. The professional pilot track's for students that want to actually fly for a living, whether you want to be an airline pilot, a corporate pilot, or perhaps you're also interested in going into the military. A little side note real quick, most military pilots are required to have a college degree, a bachelor's degree, and that's what we can help provide for you if that's the avenue you want to take. We're not limited to any specific branch of the military, and we don't do the training for the military. I want to make that clear as well. But we do have some students that are looking to go in the military to fly for a career, and this is the degree program they want to pursue prior to joining the military, or perhaps concurrently while being in ROTC. Our aviation management track is for students that wish to manage aviation entities. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously, airplanes are going to take off and land at airports. Airports have varying size and scope. It can be a smaller airport where you not only have a dozen or so airplanes based, or it might have 30 or 40 airplanes based, or it might have several hundred based along with airline service. Not every airport has airline service. So airports need managers of different scopes and scales. So an aviation management track degree helps prepare you to be an airport manager or be part of a larger airport management team. Same thing with the airlines. There's many managers that work within the airlines, many management teams and management positions. So the aviation management track also helps prepare you for working within the management structure of the airlines. Or perhaps if you are interested in becoming an aircraft dispatcher for the airlines, this track helps prepare you for that as well. An aircraft dispatcher is someone that helps with the route planning and monitors the weather of the airliners that are out flying. They work in coordination with the flight crews. So an aircraft dispatcher is sometimes referred to as someone that essentially flies from the ground. So they help with all that aspect of the flight environment. There's also jobs within the FAA, and not only within the FAA that you might think at first of being an air traffic controller, or ATC. So there's obviously ATC opportunities out there, but also within the management structure of the FAA itself. And then lastly, one of the entities that an aviation management track can help prepare you for is running a fixed-base operation. Simply put, a fixed-base operation is an airfield, an airport's entity that provides aircraft services. Say you want to go rent an aircraft or acquire flight training, you would do that through an FBO. What if you fly into another airport and you need to buy gas? You would buy that from an FBO. On small airports, the airport manager and the FBO might be one and the same thing, but as you get into larger airports, you can have more than one FBO that is separated from the airport management staff. So again, size and scope and structure comes into play with fixed-base operations too, fixed-base operations as well. So again, that's what the aviation management track is for persons that have an interest and a passion for aviation, but not perhaps flying the aircraft, but being in the aircraft or airport management, FBO management side of the industry. I always like to point something out about our professional pilot track, and that is that Henderson has full collegiate restricted airline transport pilot qualification, referred to as RETP. If you're looking to be a professional pilot and fly for the airlines, if you do not participate in RATP, then the FAA requires that you have 1,500 flight hours before you can become an airline pilot. If you go through Henderson's RATP program, the FAA will allow you to be an airline pilot with only 1,000 hours. So it saves you a lot of time of acquiring those flight hours and becoming an airline pilot. Now, as an aviation student, you'll be taking classes in the James T. Kaplinger Airway Science Academic Center. Sometimes we simply refer to that as the Kaplinger Airway Science Center. This is where all the aviation academic courses are held, whether they're management courses or the ground courses that accompany flight training. These are held in the Kaplinger Airway Science Center. Also within the Kaplinger Airway Science Center is our simulator bay. We have 2 full motion flight simulators that we house on campus, not at the airport. They're on campus in the Kaplinger Airway Science Center. I almost refer to it as the Jim Tom Kaplinger Science Center, because that's what Mr. Kaplinger was referred to a lot of times as Jim Tom. So apologize for the little slip of the tongue there, but he was a very influential person, and we're much appreciation for all the work he did in acquiring this building many years ago. So again, our campus facilities are conducted there at the Kaplinger Airway Science Center. At the airport is where you'll fly the aircraft. The airport is just a few miles outside of, well, it's still in town, so it's not outside of town, but just a few miles away from campus. It won't take but 5 or 10 minutes to get to the airport from campus. This is where obviously we do our flying, and you can see here in the picture on the screen a long line of aircraft. This is some of Henderson's aircraft. I'm going to show you some other pictures of them here in a moment. But we fly our missions, our lessons out of the Arkadelphia Airport. Now that's where they're going to originate and terminate at the end of the flight, but we're actually going to fly all over. We'll fly all over the state of Arkansas. You'll have a lot of local training flights. You'll do cross countries where you land at other airports of other sizes. We have required training flights that go to Dallas, Texas, to Memphis, Tennessee. So you'll really enjoy stretching your wings and getting beyond the state borders as well. Like I said, there's a couple other pictures of our aircraft. At the top is the MAL LMXT-7. We have 11 of those in our fleet. There's an exterior shot as well as an interior shot of its aircraft instrumentation. The bottom picture is our Piper Arrow. We have 2 Piper Arrows in our fleet, and they have what's called a glass cockpit, and that's what's depicted here. We use this aircraft to really prepare you for that airline environment, doing glass training, crew training of doing pilot flying and pilot monitoring duties like you see at the airlines. So I just wanted to show you a couple pictures of the aircraft that you would be flying. And we have some multi-engine aircraft and a tail wheel as well that I don't have depicted here. So in a nutshell, that's aviation. Just want to show you a little bit about what we have to offer here. So if you're interested, what do you need to do next? Well, obviously you need to continue watching our information sessions. We'll have session 2 and 3 that provides more detailed information, so you'll obviously need to watch those. You'll also need to take a discovery flight if you're going to be a professional pilot major. Really want you to fly at least once before you step foot on campus. Now we offer discovery flights here. There's an information book I'm going to give you a link to in just a moment that can tell you how to schedule up a discovery flight here if you want to do it through Henderson. But if there's an airport and flight instructors that you're more local to you, please feel free to go to them for a discovery flight. But we really think you ought to crawl in an airplane and go fly for 30 minutes or so. Make sure that this is what you want to do if you're pursuing the professional pilot track. Management track students are not required to fly, but you can fly as an elective. So even though I'm talking about getting a discovery flight for the professional pilot track, if you're a management track and you want to do some flying as well, you're welcome to do that as electives, but flying is not required for the management track. So that's it. Continue watching sessions 2 and 3 for additional information. Take the Discovery flight if you're going to be flying with us. And then after that's done, you'll be working with your admissions counselor to sign up for your Heart Start date. Aviation Heart Start is going to be on June 22nd. So we encourage you to go ahead and sign up for that and continue following along. As you'll see in sessions 2 and 3, there's also some a little bit more information about when you come on campus as a Henderson student, and we'll have a little bit of in-processing to do. But we'll cover that in sessions 2 and 3. Thanks for joining in. I hope this is something that you're looking forward to doing. We're looking forward to seeing you on campus. Go ahead and give you our links here. At the bottom of the screen is an email address. If you have any questions after you go through this session or sessions 2 and 3, please feel free to email us with any questions you may have. And also, if you take your phone and take a picture of this QR code right here, it will give you a link to our full information booklet. It goes into much more detail about our degree tracks, what classes are required. There is associated flight fees. As a professional pilot student, you have to rent the aircraft per hour. That is in addition to other tuition and fees. So our aircraft fee schedule is in that information booklet as well. So please scan that in and download that information booklet. Take that a look over before you start information session 2 and 3, and I think everything will fall into place. But always feel free to give us an email if you have any questions. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you on campus this fall.